Well, hello there. Welcome to the Snobs podcast Christmas Spectacular. I am your host, Mick Manhattan, the Scene Snob, and I am joined, of course, by always my delightful, majestical Mr. Mad-Man Casey Platt.
Well, hello, my good sir, and how are you on the most festivus of days?
Well, it's like 3 days before the most festivus of days, but I'll say this, it's the second best.
Mm-hmm. It most certainly is.
For sure. That is 100% true.
Because it's our Scene Snobs Christmas special.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
woo,
yeah.
Woo, woo, woo.
Let's get the dancing in. Jason, what's up, buddy? Thanks for joining in.
Hi, Jason.
All right. The real beard makes me sweat, and I doubt you can hear me talk through it. So I'm going to put on my my other hat here, my other festive hat. Blood out.
Kaboom.
Snobs.com. Okay, that's enough commercials for one day. I am getting festive again. I'm going to put on my Santa hat. There's no beard to mess with. But welcome, everybody, to, our Christmas Spectacular, the Scene Snobs Podcast Live. Our last show of the year. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I'm a little sad, but it's been an awesome year.
No, I mean, it depends on who you're looking at it from.
Right here for this. Don't look anywhere else. When I say it's awesome, it has been awesome here. All right. Don't put it like, oh, it was awesome outside. Stay inside. Inside, right here with you, our loving audience.
Yeah, I just screwed it up though. Jason told his kids that I was the real Santa.
Well, of course he is.
I still have the beard. I'm Jesus Christ, the JC.
Gee, can't you see? Looks just like him.
Couldn't stand for anything else. Yeah, I mean, I got a bowl full of jelly.
You're just jolly, buddy. I
am. I'm very jolly spirit, I suppose. I was visited by 3 ghosts last night.
Uncomfortable. Did they touch you?
No, really. It was quite enlightening. It actually, they showed me your past, present, and future and said, get this guy a cheeseburger stat and then have one with him in real life. That's what they were telling me.
I'm all right with that. Where's my cheeseburger?
I don't know. I had to do the show. That's what happens.
Dude, if you don't do what the ghost tells you, bad things happen.
Well, I think they said 2021. The ghost, the Christmas future said 2021 for sure will make it happen.
Okay, cool. So like vaccine time, so like burgers in August?
Listen, I'm all for it as long as everybody in the UK stays in the UK for a while. We love you. We love you, our UK brethren, and we wish you very well.
Absolutely.
But
you got mad cow. You got to be careful with that mad cow. We don't play with the mad cow.
Let's just stay there for a bit, figure it out, get everything contained, which I know you will because you're a responsible bunch. But Casey, it's Christmas. Well, in a few days, but it's Christmas here.
Yeah.
And I wanna start this conversation off right.
Talking about the Carpenters, the greatest musical duo of all time, especially when it comes to Christmas time.
What? That is not true.
What?
That is not true.
Oh, you bite your tongue, sir.
That is 100% not true.
I disagree with you wholeheartedly. But you know what? I'm gonna have a little cup of cheer. You go ahead and figure out your next spot.
Are you just drinking straight vodka? Has 2020 done this to you?
No, it's actually worse. It's a seltzer.
There's nothing wrong with that. It'll give you the bubblies.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice. Mike, of course, is joining us. Mike, it's always great to see you, my friend. Merry Christmas to you and Jason for joining in, and everybody else who's watching or listening, even if it's in the future. Merry early Christmas, gents. Hope you're doing well. Thank you.
Super excited. Mike and I just became Facebook friends today. What?
Dude, go check out his show.
I have.
Very fun. That's the show, boys, everybody who's watching. And Jason is the 3 Geeks podcast, which is also a great show. You should go check them out as well. So I am not above plugging everybody.
Plug them all.
So tonight we're going to talk about a few things. We're going to step on the show boys' toes a little bit with this first one. And I want to open it up by talking about that amazing season finale of The Mandalorian.
Whew. I mean, if you want to start, just start at the top, right? Because it was.
Well, we will be spoilers. Let's just say
Oh
that.
yeah, spoilers, everyone, because you can't not.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I feel like we gave you enough time.
You've had 4 days.
You can watch it. Just get it done. If you haven't watched in that time, you're not a fan enough to care about spoilers.
Yeah, I'm on like number 4, viewing number 4. So it's phenomenal.
So, all right, let me ask you this before we get into specifics.
Okay.
Which hallway lightsaber scene is now your favorite? Darth from Rogue One or this one?
I actually was just discussing this earlier, and I think it's fantastic that they managed to show both of them in their power with a hallway scene, showing what the Jedi and Sith can do against normal dudes and chicks, and they just get totally smoked. They got no shot, no chance. These are droids. These are huge droids that were able to, like, one was almost able to whoop the Mando. And yeah, Luke Skywalker is just awesome.
The one thing I have to say about it, though, is their reasoning for droids is amazing to me, considering they gave a completely other reason for leaving droids and going to clones. It's like where are you at with this? I mean, come on, you guys did this before.
Bro, it's the Empire. They don't even know what they're doing.
Yeah, that's for sure. Moff Gideon, as much as I love him, he was great in the show. He was no Gus.
He gussed pretty hard.
He gussed pretty hard, but he was just short of the villainy that Gus provided.
That's fair, yeah, and he still had his whole face intact. So I mean, there's that.
I mean, if he's not half blown up, then it just doesn't matter. I have so many people pissed off right now. So I mean, it was kind of a heart-wrenching episode. It was pretty sad.
Yeah.
I want to say I did not see it coming, but I'm actually, from everything I've read, I'm happy with the decision for Grogu to kind of be off the show for a while.
Yeah, no, I understand what they're doing with it, and I like that. I think if we're going to go explore whatever they choose to explore now, most likely Mandalore, that'll be better without the kid, because it's going to get brutal.
Well, he's I mean, he's got to be the one to lead them, the Mandalorian. So we're going to see what happens, and we need him to be separate from that parenting role. I'm very anxious to see where they go with this.
Yeah, it's going to be neat. I just really want to throw out there that Jon Favreau did for Star Wars what J.J. Abrams did for Star Trek. And he took something I loved. He took something that I cherished as a child through my formative years and into adulthood, and they just knocked it out of the park with sincerity, with respect, and really just with heart. And it was great to see.
Yeah, I would I would go a little farther to say I appreciate JJ opening the door for a new Star Trek to come back. And even like a new style Star Trek that's more action packed.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like what he and his team have kind of gone forward with doing. Like I don't love their direction.
With Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Trek.
Fair.
But I did love what Simon Pegg did with the third one.
Yeah.
So that door was open because of JJ. So I will give him that credit. Now, Jon Favreau, yes. Not only did he open the door, he stuck his lightsaber into the door, Qui-Gon style, and said, I'm taking this.
He did, and yet somehow in the same breath was gently caressing it and was being very kind and sweet and nurturing and cared for it, and then handed it off and went, there you go. You're welcome.
And look at the hands he handed it off to. So Jason's right, and Dave Filoni deserves a lot of credit for all his work on Clone Wars and everything else, especially all the animated Star Wars work, because that was what was holding it up to this high tier of wonder. And they should be put in charge of the entire universe. I do agree. It is time for Kathleen Kennedy to go.
Yep.
But Disney is still figuring out whatever they need to figure out. And we'll go from there. But Favreau and Filoni, they are not going anywhere. And it looks, I have a very strong feeling they're going to be in charge of that. At least overseeing the Book of Fett. The Book
Yeah, I would assume they would have to be. They'll probably hand it off to different directors because, I mean, we saw how many Rick Fumiyama? Terrible.
God, he did such
I'm sorry. But yeah, he was fantastic. All the directors, Bryce Dallas Howard, for crying out loud, crushed it.
Oh my God! And I mean, Robert Rodriguez to come back and step into the front fold and just blow it out of the water, and he's going to have a much bigger hand in the Boba Fett because he directed the Boba Fett episode. So
that's right.
He's going to have like a bigger say in towards the direction of Boba Fett.
Do you think that actually pisses Tarantino off more because he's not getting his Star Trek movie?
I wish he would, though. That's not. I mean, if he needs to be pissed off at anyone, it's the minds right now behind Star Trek.
Whoa! Because Lower Decks is brilliant.
Yeah,
so
but
let's pump the brakes.
Look at everything we had to go with to get to Lower Decks. And Lower Decks, animation has never been fully respected in franchises.
Of course.
By the higher ups, by studios. If you get an animated, and that's why like animation is so free a lot of times. Like animation that's tied into franchises is very free a lot of times when it comes to studios because they're just kind of like, fine, do what you're going to do. It's probably not going to last anyway. So because it has that creative freedom, they tend to do a lot better because they're actually fans making the show,
I mean, which precisely was shown with Filoni in Clone Wars. I mean, He truly cared for those characters. He wanted to give that story the credence it didn't get from movie 2, Attack of the Clones. And he did it. It was beautiful.
Yeah, and I think The Mandalorian was one of those too, where it was kind of like Kathleen Kennedy's in charge. She is focused on making these movies. So when somebody came to Lucasfilms and said, we want to do a show like Favreau, and you're not going to say no to Favreau. Favreau is what gets it made.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you think that's because of Iron Man? Did that immediately give him that?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that he was the man, he was the architect that opened up the MCU. Mm-hmm. It would not have happened without that success from Iron Man.
Well, I think Fantastic Four opened that.
No. But everybody says that too. Like everybody said, it was him who opened the door, and he stayed on to produce a lot of the movies after because people felt safer with him there.
Yeah.
He even was like, everybody can just do it. I'll do Iron Man. And then after the second one, he was kind of like, I'm stepping off. I want to go do other stuff. Jason brings up a good point, but The Lion King came a lot later. The Lion King gave a lot of faith to him in Disney because because MCU wasn't a part of Disney when he kicked that all off. But The Lion King, stepping that in and seeing the success, and the Lion King. Oh, no, not was it The Lion King or was it Jungle Book? Jungle Book is what was the first one that he did for them.
Yeah, and Jungle Book was way better. I mean, Lion King isn't bad.
I got all mixed up.
The live remake of Lion King was fine, but it once again just didn't, to me, have the heart that the cartoon did, and it struggled a little bit because of that, as opposed to Jungle Book, which crushed it. Maybe because of Scarlett Johansson as Kaa. I don't know. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of really good things about The Lion King. I did love the Jungle Book. Oh, he did do The Lion King. So I just want to make 100% sure. But what he did with The Lion King was great. I mean, it looked beautiful. Yeah, you're right. I would prefer the animated movie, but I do, like, my kids prefer the live action version.
Really? Oh, yeah. River is all about the animated, man. She is not a fan of the live actions.
So his best work was Monica's wannabe MMA fighter.
Oh, Brian. Hi, Brian.
Yes, he did start in Friends. What's up, Brian? Yeah, that is true. So I think it was Jungle Book, because Jungle Book was really the one that like kind of blew up. Mm-hmm. Remember, they tried it with Alice, they tried it with a few others, and they did all right. They did Cinderella, but they weren't grasping the audiences until Jungle Book came out, and it was like, wow, we have something here. and it's really good, and we can continue. And I mean, really, it is the Lion King and the Jungle Book that are the two best. I mean, look at Dumbo, things like that. Like, they just don't stick as well.
Well, of course, Dumbo's not going to work. It's a terrible story. It's super sad. There is barely any uplifting part, and now you're going to make it live action? It's even worse. I mean, for crying out loud, the lead crow is named Jim Crow.
Yeah, I know. It's
made
rough.
in what, 38? Come on. Bad connotations all the way around. Not a fan of Dumbo.
See, I'm more of a fan of Dumbo than like Bambi or A Land Before Time, because they lose their mom. At least they
Land Before Time.
It's a sad thing. Shut up. Don't get mad. It's more because like he gets to be with his mom at the end. That's it. I like that happy ending of he gets to be with his mom.
Yeah, but that's not reality.
All right, you're not wrong. Brought to you by Fizzy Water. So, yeah, but when it comes down to like going back to Mandalorian and everything they're doing, it's just, it was really so well done. Beautiful. I love that they've made it so Pedro Pascal can take off the helmet, which was one of his biggest concerns of like, I'm an actor and you never get to see my face. I don't think you ever needed to. You felt everything that he's that good of an actor. He should have more faith in him.
You heard it in his voice. You saw it in his body language. The guy played it perfectly.
Yeah. And I just think he should give himself more credit. I wasn't a huge fan of the Dumbo live action. The movie is about Disney and their takeover. That is true. And you get Danny DeVito in a top hat. I do love Tim Burton, though. I mean, I will go back and watch it because I love Tim Burton. But like going back to Mandalorian, like, you know, now you have so much open there. Bo-Katan, what's going to happen with her? They're going to have to obviously face off at some point.
Yep.
How's that going to go? He now has to lead the Mandalorians. You introduce Luke, you know, so you can bring him back.
Now you've got Mayfeld, who's out there. You got Cara Dune, who's still rocking, so she could have her own storyline as the Marshal. You've got Carl Weathers, who will just fit anywhere and everywhere because he's phenomenal.
He directed an episode this season too.
That's right, he did. I forgot about that.
So with this, I did read something. Oh no, I'm sorry. I watched a YouTube video. It was kind of like why doesn't Luke Skywalker in Mandalorian look like Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi? He's just a little off, and he's a little too pretty, is what a lot of people are saying. And you know, they did this whole thing. They're like, if you look at him in the animation they did, he looks just like. And now, mind you, this is all fan stuff. This is all. I'm just throwing out
because I disagree with it wholeheartedly. So,
well, they said like if you look at him, he looks a lot like Sebastian Stan.
Yeah. Oh, I heard that. Yeah.
Don't agree. I don't disagree. I mean, he does look a lot like Sebastian Stan, and a lot of people, you know, are kind of jumping into it. And like this video states, there's like, is it that maybe they could bring Luke back in the future, but Sebastian Stan plays him? And I wanted to ask you this question because I'm going to tell you my answer first. I don't care if he does. If he does, I'm fine with it. I'll watch a Luke Skywalker movie with Sebastian Stan. What do you think? You're a purist.
Yeah, wholeheartedly. And I am not the biggest Sebastian Stan fan. But it's not because he's a terrible actor. It's not because I dislike his face. I think he's very pretty. My problem is he doesn't grab me. You know, he's a little, I don't know, he's missing something. He doesn't have that it factor for me. Not that Hamill necessarily did, but that's Luke Skywalker. And at the same token, at this point, they're all old. Mark Hamill already came out and said he's cool with it. He doesn't care what they do. He respects and loves what Favreau's doing. So, hey, if the man himself says it's cool, it's cool.
I think at some point the fans are, and that's kind of the point I came to with it, especially after watching the last three. I was like, if we're going to do this and we're going to do it right, you have to start recasting.
You do, and you have to get over your own preconceived notions. And I think that's a real big problem with what happened with these last three movies is everyone was so worked up on their story and what they'd wanted. And we had 30 years of books and 30 years of comics and all these different stories. So when it didn't go exactly their way, the purists freak out and missed out on what was a good series, was a good story. It was a wonderful saga. Then people get so eaten up on their own ideas that